So we call this meeting to order, and can we get a roll call?
Yes, so I will go ahead and call out your names in alphabetical order, and if you can just indicate verbally if you're present. Carrie Anderson.
Present.
Nate Caminos.
Present.
Paula Carvalho.
Present.
John Chelmanack.
Present.
Gordon McHenry Jr. Looks like he's just connecting. I'll circle back to him. Harold Odom.
Present.
Damian Patenaude.
Present.
Adrian Quinn.
Present.
Michael Ramos.
Present.
Sarah Rankin.
Here.
Simha Reddy. Simha, just can you verbally indicate that you're here?
I'm here. Sorry, I was having a little trouble getting off you. Present.
Juanita Spotted Elk.
Here.
And Gordon McHenry Jr.
Finally, here.
Before we move on to with Harold doing the land acknowledgement, I did want to welcome everyone and calling this special meeting of the Implementation Board to order. We will conduct this meeting via Zoom. All attendees will be muted until the public comment period. Please note that this meeting is being recorded. All visual, verbal, and written comments are public record. Board members, at various points in this meeting, we will engage in group discussion. To ask questions or share a comment, please raise your hand by clicking on the button on the right side of your screen. Then you will be entered into a queue. When the discussions formally begin, Harold and I will call on you in order in which you will raise your hand. After your turn, you can raise your hand again and be entered back into the queue. Harold, with the land acknowledgement.
And I'll just confirm that we have 10 members present and we do have a quorum.
Great. Thank you, Jeannie.
And Jeannie, can you do land acknowledgement and public comment for me? I just switched my laptop.
I'll go for it, Harold.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, we have 12 members present and we do have a quorum. I just want to admit that.
Thank you. We acknowledge that all U.S. land is original Native American land. Here in the Pacific Northwest, the Coastal Salish are the original residents and protectors of this land. Some of the Coastal Salish tribes are not currently recognized by the federal government, such as the Duwamish tribe, thus limiting their access to key privileges granted by federally recognized tribes. Native Americans have been present in the region for thousands of years and remain present to this day. Now, as we get into public comment, we have 10 minutes on today's agenda for public comment. If you would like to provide verbal comment, please type your name and the city from which you're calling into the chat function. Carrie will use this to build a queue for the public comment period of the agenda. In addition, you may use the chat function to provide written comments starting now into the public comment section of the agenda. So now we'll take public comment. We've set aside 10 minutes to hear from members of the public. If you wish to comment and have not yet typed your name and the city in the chat window to be called upon, please do so now. Each individual will be given 2 minutes to comment. Carrie will call on individuals in the order they have been provided in the chat window and unmute them. Carrie will announce when you've reached your 2 minutes, ask you to finish your comment, and call on the next speaker. I will close public comment at 8:18 a.m. Public comment is now open.
We have no one has signed up for public comment as of right now.
I'll wait just a second here, just in case someone's typing something in before I immediately close it. Seeing none, we can also leave the chat window open for comments that anyone from the public would like to enter for today's meeting as well. Seeing no public comment for the time being, or at least verbally for now, we will close public comment period, but again, keep that chat window open for the next 10 minutes. In doing so, I do want to entertain, I will make a motion now, call a motion to move into executive session with a time to reconvene of 8:40. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion passes. We will move into executive session and reconvene at 8:40 a.m. See you there in executive session.
And just to, Nate, did you say what the purpose of the executive session was, just for the record?
Yeah, purpose of the conversation is to have continued discussion in regards to the CEO interview process.
Great.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and just get going on this. Staff can please work with Pastor Anderson and get him connected while I do this work here. So yesterday we conducted interviews with finalist candidates for the Regional Homelessness Authority CEO position. Today we need the CEO candidate to be confirmed by the governing committee. Per our interlocal agreement with the Regional Homelessness Authority, this recommendation requires a resolution. This resolution should address both the recommended candidate and the salary range for the CEO position. Harold and I have recommended a salary range of $200,000 to $250,000 for the position based on comparable King County and City of Seattle salaries, the authority's budget, and the responsibilities of the position. Do I have a motion for a resolution to recommend one of the candidates for the role of CEO?
I so move.
Second.
What's your motion?
Sorry.
My motion is to recommend one of the candidates, that we take a vote to recommend one of the candidates for the role of CEO.
Okay, we'll need to list them by name. There. Sarah, you only need to mention them by name, and it is okay to announce them, these candidates by name. This is.
Oh, I apologize. So I should frame it in terms of my own recommendation?
Correct.
Okay. I move to recommend Regina Cannon for the role of CEO.
Do I have a second?
I would like to second it.
Oh, please go ahead. Yep.
Second by Michael Ramos. Call for discussion and recommendation of Regina Cannon for the CEO position and the recommended salary for the position. Any discussion? I will call for a vote.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Gordon McHenry here.
Go ahead, Gordon.
Yeah, I would just say that I appreciated that we had two incredibly strong candidates for this position of the first CEO of the King County Regional Homeless Authority. I would be comfortable with having either one of them lead the organization, and I'm excited to take the vote that's coming. Thank you.
Second that for sure. Pastor Anderson, welcome. We're about to take a vote on a motion that's been before us by Sarah Rankin, recommending Regina Cannon as the CEO for the Regional Homelessness Authority. Any other further discussion before we get to a vote?
The only thing I want to add, this is Deanna, is that we have a resolution, a written resolution that is about a page and a half long, just basically fill in the blank, add the name. There was a question about abstention for voting. There is no process for abstention. And then also no process, there's no proxy voting allowed, but that is, we'll need to at some point talk about process and policies and procedures for this board. But let's get through today.
Great. Thank you, Deanna. 9 o'clock now. I know people had a hard stop at 9 for various reasons. Any other further quick comments or discussion before we get into this roll call vote? All right, we'll call the vote. Jeannie or staff, please just walk us through the roll call.
Yes. And again, I will call out your names, and if you could indicate your support or not for the motion. Carrie Anderson.
I vote for Regina. I just tuned in, so I didn't hear all of the comments.
I'll take that as an aye.
Nate Caminos.
Aye.
Paula Carvalho.
Aye.
John Chelmanak.
Aye.
Gordon McHenry Jr.
Aye.
Harold Odom.
Aye.
Damian Patnod.
Aye.
Adrian Quinn.
Aye.
Michael Ramos.
Aye.
Sarah Rankin.
Aye.
Simha Reddy.
I just want to say how
second Gordon's comments about how lucky we were to have two such fine candidates with such experience in both equity and homelessness work. And I vote aye for Regina Cannon.
Okay, and Juanita Spotted Elk.
Aye.
Great. We have 12 ayes, no nays, and no abstentions, and no absences.
And just
Go ahead,
just
Deanna.
to clarify the motion, Nate did because I'm sorry, I was not a panelist in the beginning of the open session, but the motion had a salary, the resolution did have that salary range in it, correct? So we can fill in those two blanks in the resolution?
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for helping clarify, Deanna.
And would you like me to plug those in, or Sola, or someone, is anyone else taking a stab at that? We should probably forward those on to the governing committee.
Yes, happy to work with you and support staff on filling out the resolution in preparation for today's 1 p.m. governing committee when it's formally presented.
That's great. And I am not scheduled to be at that meeting. I actually have a conflict at that time, but email me or text me if anything comes up. I know there were questions about process from here on out. Under the ILA, the governing committee does, their role is to confirm the recommendation. And if there is no confirmation of the recommendation, the ILA does not speak to that, but we can cross that bridge if we get there. But the question would definitely come back to this group. So we will, again, reconvene if we have to cross that bridge.
Great. Thank you, Deanna.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations. This is exciting.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to say a big thank you to the Hawkins team for bringing us a great slate of candidates. And thank you to all the city and county folks for a complicated process and leading it through us, and for Harold and Nate for all of this work that you have done to keep us on track in your leadership. Thank you.
I think we will have a leader for this organization that is just excellent. I think will fit in extremely well in the region, be welcomed throughout King County in a variety of different ways. And she has just an amazing, strong focus on racial equity.
Yeah.
And thank you for your work, and it's just an honor to watch, and I just want to say thank you.
I want to express my gratitude for the process and our consultants for the process. Thank you very much. And for the thoughtfulness of this implementation board and the wisdom of this group.
Thank you all for your work and flexibility. I think this is like our 5th meeting in 5 weeks or so, just to kick off the new year. I don't remember, at least our 5th implementation board meeting outside of the several ones that staff and consultants have been a part of. And so big kudos for a lot of folks pulling long hours and days and working weekends to get to us to this point. And Harold and I will continue that momentum as we move forward to the governing committee at 1 o'clock today. If any of you have any, as you've already shared verbally at the close of today's meeting, if any of you would like to email me and Harold to any initial thoughts or things that you'd like to share about the process, and Regina herself, Harold and I are happy to incorporate that in how we present that to the governing committee this afternoon as well.
I just want to say to everybody, thank you all so much for this opportunity. It was a very complicated experience for us, but I think those are the best because they always come through with a great outcome. Brett and I, as you know, have both personal and professional interest in the space, and sort of this allows us to find ways to contribute to
sort of eradicating homelessness as we know it across the country. So it was so great meeting all of you. This is our sign off. We have enjoyed sort of meeting you in all the various capacities. We regret that we were not able to come out to Seattle, which we love because you have the best food in the world, but maybe we will at another time. So we'll sign off now and just thank you all very much.
Congratulations, everybody.
Christina and Brett, thank you very much. And thanks to Hawkins Group for your excellent work. And yes, it's been a bumpy road, but we are at a point, a milestone. I'd just like to congratulate the implementation board. We have went very far in a very short amount of time.
Right.
We will regroup, and I look forward to the next few months because they'll be very interesting. We have a CEO, and we can start moving forward in a way that we haven't been before. So thank you for making this milestone happen, and look forward to the work to come.
Before we close the meeting,
guys.
just a note of sharing that our next week's implementation board meeting on Wednesday, February 10th, will be essentially mandatory training for us as a board that we need to complete before the end of the month. It'll be a very light agenda compared to what we've had to go through, we've been doing in the last 5 weeks or so. So we'll have one action item on the replacing the vacancy, the one remaining vacancy in the advisory council. That should take about 5 minutes. And then we'll do a OPMA training as part of the rest of the time there. It may not take the whole 2 hours, but just a heads up, and you'll see more materials on that later this week. Thanks all. Have a great rest of your morning and day, and we'll talk to you all soon. This concludes today's implementation board meeting. Take care. Bye.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
We need a motion to adjourn or no?
Yeah, no, you're the.
I think you're adjourned.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. Deanna says we're okay.
You're adjourned.
Thanks,
I think
Deanna.
you're good.